The Narcissist's Toolkit: How Manipulators Control Reality. They walk into the room, and instantly you feel it. A gravitational pull, a magnetic presence. It's not just confidence, it's performance. They lock eyes with you as if you're the most important person in the world. You smile back, you feel special, you feel chosen, but what you don't see is the mask. Narcissists are master actors. Their entire life is a stage, and you are the audience, the co-star, and the prop, all at once. Before we talk about their weapons, you need to understand their nature. Narcissists don't just want admiration, they need it. It's oxygen to them. Without it, they suffocate. And to get it, they've built a toolkit. Tools so refined, so invisible, that by the time you realize you've been played, the game is already over. Nobody is born a narcissist. They are made. Picture a child longing for love. But instead of affection, they receive conditions. Be perfect or be ignored. Every mistake punished. Every weakness exploited. To survive, the child builds armor. They create a false self, a perfect, unbreakable image. And they hide the real self so deep that even they forget it exists. Years later, that false self still rules them. Every relationship is no longer about connection, but about control. And the world becomes nothing more than a reflection of their ego. The first weapon in the narcissist's toolkit is love bombing. They overwhelm you with affection, gifts, attention. They mirror your interests, your dreams, your fears. You think you've found your soulmate, but in reality, they're studying you. Every conversation is data collection. Every smile you give tells them which button to press later. The love isn't real, it's bait. And the moment you're hooked, the game changes. Have you ever met someone who seemed exactly like you? Same tastes, same values, same sense of humor. With narcissists, this is no coincidence. They become your perfect reflection because people trust those who seem familiar. But here's the sinister twist. They're not reflecting you. They're reflecting the person you wish you could be. And once you believe they are the one, you'll overlook every red flag until it's too late. Emma thought she met her dream man. Charming, romantic, supportive. In the first month, he sent flowers to her office every week. He took her on spontaneous trips. He told her she was the love of his life. But then, small cracks began to show. He questioned her memory, corrected her stories, and whenever she brought up concerns, he'd remind her, "Remember how perfect things were in the beginning?" Emma didn't know it yet, but she was being groomed for control. Narcissists live for what psychologists call narcissistic supply. It's the attention, validation, and admiration they feed on. And here's the brutal truth. You're not loved for who you are. You're used for what you give. When you provide supply, they'll reward you with affection. When you stop, they'll punish you until you fall back in line. And if you resist too long, they'll replace you. At some point, every narcissist transitions from charm to control. It's subtle at first. A suggestion here, a correction there. Then come the guilt trips, the silent treatments, the emotional outbursts. It's no longer about making you feel good. It's about making you feel dependent. And dependency is the soil in which all their other manipulations grow. You might think, I would never fall for this. But narcissists have perfected their tools over a lifetime. By the time you realize you're caught, you've already rewritten your own reality to match theirs. Now that you've seen the architecture of the narcissist's mind, it's time to watch their tools in motion. Tools so polished, so invisible, you might not even realize they've been used on you until the damage is irreversible. In this act, we step into the shadows, where manipulation turns into theater and you are unknowingly cast as the lead role. Tool 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's rewriting your reality. Imagine telling someone the sky is blue, and they laugh, telling you you're imagining it. Slowly, day after day, they plant seeds of doubt. Maybe I am mistaken. That's the goal, to make you question your own memory, perception, even sanity. You find a message on their phone, clearly from someone they're involved with. You confront them. They look you dead in the eyes and say, "You're paranoid. That's my cousin." No matter how much proof you have, they twist it, mock your certainty, and frame you as unstable. Eventually, you're not sure what's real anymore. Gaslighting works because our brains crave cognitive consistency. When someone close contradicts our version of reality, our social instincts push us to keep harmony, even at the cost of our own truth. Tool 2. Love bombing. If gaslighting is the push, love bombing is the pull. This is the weapon of overwhelm. They drench you in attention, gifts, promises, and grand gestures. It feels intoxicating, addictive, like you've finally been seen. But love bombing isn't about love. It's bait. A new manager showers you with praise in your first week. They invite you to exclusive meetings, promise fast promotions, and say, "You're the best hire we've ever made." But once you're hooked, the tone shifts. Praise turns to criticism, opportunities disappear, and you're left working twice as hard just to earn back that first high. Love bombing triggers dopamine spikes in the brain, creating an addictive loop. You start chasing the high, which makes you ignore the warning signs. Tool 3. Triangulation. This one's a favorite in the Narcissist's playbook, the art of control by comparison. They bring a third party into the mix, real or imagined, to keep you competing for their approval. It's emotional Hunger Games. You've been close friends for years. Suddenly, they start talking about a new best friend they've been spending all their time with. They post photos, share inside jokes, and casually mention how amazing this person is. You feel insecure, desperate to prove your value again. That's exactly where they want you. Triangulation weaponizes social comparison, our evolutionary drive to secure our place in the tribe. Tool 4. The silent treatment. Silence isn't always peace. In the hands of a narcissist, it's punishment. Days, weeks, no calls, no messages, no eye contact. You start replaying every moment, trying to guess what you did wrong. And when they finally return, you feel relief, not anger. The balance of power shifts. An argument ends with them walking out. You try to reach them, calls ignored. You start apologizing for things you didn't even do, just to end the silence. And when they do respond, they act as if you were the one who abandoned them. This taps into our primal fear of abandonment. The pain of social rejection is processed in the same brain regions as physical pain, which is why the silent treatment hurts so much. Tool 5. Projection. This is one of the most chilling tools. They accuse you of the very things they're guilty of: cheating, lying, manipulation. Suddenly, you're on the defensive, too busy proving your innocence to notice the truth. A colleague is sabotaging your project behind the scenes. But before you can prove it, they file a complaint accusing you of sabotage. Now, you're fighting an uphill battle to clear your name, while they look like the victim. Projection confuses the target, forces them into emotional reactivity, and shields the narcissist from accountability. Tool 6. Mirroring. Mirroring is a chameleon skill. At first, it feels magical. They have the same tastes, dreams, sense of humor. But it's not connection, it's data collection. Every like, dislike, and fear you share is a future weapon. You meet someone who feels like your soulmate instantly. You love hiking, so do they. You adore jazz, it's their favorite. But months later, these shared passions disappear, replaced by contempt for the things you love, because they were never real. Mirroring creates a false sense of trust and emotional intimacy, making you more vulnerable to later manipulation. Tool 7. The smear campaign. This is the final weapon, usually unleashed when you start pulling away. They begin poisoning the well, spreading rumors, twisting your words, turning mutual friends and allies against you. By the time you realize it, your reputation has been quietly dismantled. You leave a toxic friendship. Weeks later, you notice friends avoiding you. Stories circulate about your betrayals and lies, none of which ever happened. And when you try to defend yourself, it sounds like you're just being defensive, which only reinforces their story. Humans rely heavily on social trust for survival. Destroying your credibility is like socially exiling you, isolating you so you're easier to control or discard. These tools don't work in isolation. They work because they're woven together into a web, each strand reinforcing the other. By the time you notice the pattern, you're already trapped. By now, you've seen the mask. You've felt the cold hands of manipulation wrap around your mind. You've watched them twist your reality until you doubted your own name. But here's the truth they never wanted you to know. Even the most dangerous narcissist can be disarmed. The first step is naming the chains: gaslighting, love bombing, triangulation, silent treatment, projection. Every tactic you can name becomes weaker, because when you name a trick, your brain moves it from emotion to logic. And logic is where the narcissist loses their power. Disengagement is your shield, not confrontation, not revenge. A narcissist feeds on your reaction. Every smile, every tear, every angry word is a meal. When you give nothing, they starve. The narcissist's most powerful weapon is frame control, bending the world so you see it through their eyes. To escape, you must rebuild your own frame. This means surrounding yourself with reality checks, friends who will speak truth even when it hurts. Keeping journals, recording conversations if you must. Every piece of truth you anchor yourself to is a wall they cannot climb. You don't win by playing their game. You win by becoming boring, predictable, emotionless in their presence. They want chaos. You give stillness. They want fear. You give silence, like a rock in a storm. You let their rage break against you and fall away. For every tool they have, you have an opposite. Gaslighting, reality anchoring, love bombing, pace and test, triangulation, direct communication, silent treatment, self-validation, projection, return to sender. Every counter tool is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Sometimes, escape isn't graceful, it's brutal, sudden. One day you block the number, you change the locks, you disappear, and the guilt will try to drag you back. But here's the hard truth. Narcissists do not change. They only adapt. Cutting them off isn't cruelty. It's survival. The final step is not just escape, it's immunity. Because once you've been targeted, you're marked. Others like them will test your defenses. So you train yourself, spot the love bomb early. Notice the casual gaslight, see the triangulation before it begins. And every time you refuse the hook, your armor grows thicker. A narcissist's greatest fear is not exposure, it's irrelevance. When you walk away, and they can't follow, when your mind is your own, when you laugh without them hearing, that's when you've truly won. And from that moment forward, the tools they once used on you will never work again. Next time, we go even deeper, into the world of cults, leaders, and mass mind control. Stay sharp, stay free, stay awake. Subscribe for more.